estimated that we're looking for the same size house to be about $2,500.
Yeah.
And I make about $20,000 a month.
No. Make a month is the static piece of information in either one of these scenarios. But the two things we're comparing against is $900 a month that goes up in value, or $2,500 a month in the middle of the table on fire.
Yeah.
Y'all just want out of debt. Is your motivation, Mark, for asking the question because you guys just want to pay everything off and it just feels better than you're renting? Like, is that what you guys are feeling, both of you?
I guess it just feels more simple, and it just because I know that like you said that the housing prices are supposed to go up, but there's a chance also that they could go down. And I just feel like
if you're going to sell, you want to sell now.
I think you're making a mistake because you really do think house prices are going to go down, and I think you're wrong.
Especially in Nashville, Mark.
Right.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah.
I think you've been hanging out with the wrong people at the bar.
Oh my gosh.
And they're all talking.
I don't know.
They're all talking
No,
trash.
let's hear Mark.
Your friends are all talking trash.
I want to hear, Mark, what you have to say. I really do, because I hear the same thing. So go.
For our specific scenario, in the next 3-4 years, how much our house is really going to go up, and is that worth the risk of keeping it for that long? And
What's causing you, Mark, to think that your house price is going to go down here in Nashville? Why do you think that?
I don't know that it's going to go down, but I don't know that the amount that it'll go up.
But why? Why are you coming to these conclusions? Give me data. Give me reason.
Because the price of our house has more than doubled in the past 6 years, and I don't see that amount of increase as a percentage of increase. I think it may increase, but I don't know if that increase over 3 to 4 years is going to be worth the risk of us keeping the house versus being out of debt.
The risk of the debt on the land?
Yeah. Debt on our house and the land. Like, if something happens to my job or something in the next 3 to 4 years, it would be pretty, I don't know.
You could sell either one or both of these properties.
Yeah, I guess I just worry about if the demand will if there's still going to be the demand.
At the core of all of this back and forth in your verbal is you are really worried that house prices are going to go down. You really do believe there's a high probability they're going to go down, and that's at the core of your question, and that's why I think you're wrong. Okay, now you can do what you want to do. There's no real downside except a little bit of lost money on you selling your house today, but still sell it today and go pay off your land and go rent. But then go back and look when you finish this transaction 3 years from now and see what that house that you sold did. And then we can determine if I was right or not. But,
And Mark, let me say this though, because the market is softening, it is making people be like, oh wow. So yes, houses are going back to what they actually are valued at and what appraisal coming in at.
Not some bidding war.
Yes, versus in Nashville, we all knew this, 3 months ago, office, I got 56 offers over a weekend. It was 200 over asking. I mean, just you hear the craziest stories. You're not going to have that anymore. So,
I don't think that's going to happen.
But that doesn't mean that the value of your home is going to tank, because no, supply is not going to catch up with demands here in the near future. And I honestly do think that there are still these areas around the country. We talked about this last segment.
Assurance has 25,000 employees in downtown Nashville. Amazon has 25,000 employees in downtown Nashville.
And the healthcare industry in Nashville.
That's just two companies. You can't beg a house in Nashville right now because these huge corporations have moved in here and made it their headquarters. Okay? And they're moving out of New York, they're moving out of California, and they're moving in here and setting up shop because we're a tax-free, income tax-free
Again, if you were
state.
Houston, Mark, another place, maybe we could have another discussion.
You're not in a market that's going to crash, dude. Now, again, if you want to do this, the only thing you've lost is whatever you didn't make on your house. And so it's not a huge, there's nothing here in the stupid column. But what I want to teach you and people listening is when you make decisions based on feelings instead of real data, on negative feelings, fear, it almost never leads to good financial consequences. And so at the core of your concern, at the core of your question is a false assumption that real estate in Nashville, Tennessee is going to go down in the next 2 years. It's not. It's not. If it does, call me and I'll buy your house. It's not. Okay? Seriously. But now, if you just want the peace of mind,
go to the bar that Mark is hanging out with and tell all the friends I was wrong. I'll buy y'all.
No, I'm not buying everybody in the bar's house. I'm not buying around. I'm just buying his. But it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Okay? So, you're okay. You're okay. But if you want to sell it, it's also okay. You're not dumb for being 100% debt free. You're not dumb. But I just don't want you to make decisions based on fear and feelings rather than data. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 4:25. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Ross Perot said, the most successful people in the world aren't actually the brightest. They are the ones who persevere.
Stop. Unbelievable.
You guys are so bad.
Okay.
I have all these charts and graphs for the real estate event for tomorrow night. We were going through the rehearsal stuff this morning. I said, this is just like Ross Perot. She said, you mean Bob Ross?
No.
What was it you said?
I said, yeah, I was like, well, all your graphs, Dave, you got so many graphs for this event. And he was like, I know, I'm like Ross Perot. You probably don't even know who he is. I was like, yes, I watched him all the time on PBS, painting, his hair. And everyone was like, that's Bob Ross.
Poor
So
Bob
they made,
Ross.
I
He
didn't
just
even
got
get
insulted being
Ross
called
Perot.
Ross Perot. So we get a Ross Perot
freaking quote from Ross Perot.
All these
The most successful people in the world aren't usually the brightest.
awesome.
Jeez. I thought charts, art.
So Rachel,
Bob.
a little history lesson.
I know who was. I know.
Perot was
Yes.
running against Bush. He would always get up with these He was running as an independent. He actually caused Bush to get beat. Okay, he took his votes, and he would get up there and he go, "This is the graph," and he would do this whole thing. This horrible nasal voice, and it was running for president. He always had charts and graphs. He was not a fan.
I know. Like,
No, you don't. You're a child.
I know politics. I do. I know the history in like the 80s and 90s of politics. Oh my. Oh man.
Ross Perot, the painter. There we go. Hey, by the way, folks, we are doing that real estate reality check tomorrow night. It is a live stream. It's free. We're doing 4 building wealth events in the fall in your cities, and that includes Phoenix, Arizona, which I just got an email at the break, sold out. Phoenix is sold out. So those of you who didn't get your tickets for Phoenix, we'll catch you next time. And, be ready, be watching, be listening. So sold out, and completely sold out. Maybe we'll talk them into opening up another night or something, but it's gone. And Sacramento is almost sold out. Can't think of the other cities off the top of my head, but they're all right on the verge of selling out for the fall here. You need to go ahead and get those tickets. Those are not free. The event tomorrow night, you go to RamseySolutions.com and register for the real estate reality check. It's completely free. This live stream. Okay, Marco is with us in LA. Hey, Marco, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave, how you doing, man? What an honor. Seriously, how are you guys?
Better than we deserve, sir. How can we help you?
All right. So, Dave, my question today for you is, so I'm 21 years old. I'm going back to school in the fall, and I've got 2 years down under my belt. I was out of school for a little over a year. I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, get some internship lived in Florida for a little bit, came back. So basically, go back to school to finish my undergrad in business. Decided I want to do that, kind of build a little bit of a career out of it, and also, but my end goal is to go back to get my master's in theology. So being a pastor in Planet Church would be definitely, what truly I believe God has called me to do. But here is my question. So I'm a first gen, so going back to college is a huge, huge deal. My parents supportive in everything that I've done. But here's the thing. Like I said, my parents I'm a first gen, so my parents, that makes my parents South American immigrants. And so the financial decisions that they've made when they first came here weren't always the best. I grew up in, we had to suffer, we had to sacrifice a lot, but we're not where we used to be, and I know we're headed to a better place. With that being said, that's kind of why we think 10 years ahead. So I'm enrolled at a school, Biola University here in LA, and I've gotten final numbers of how much it's going to cost me.
How much?
It's money that
How much?
It's $13,600 for one semester.
That's a little high.
It is. It's very high, and that's one semester. So that's just fall of 2022. And so I'm not even sure what spring of 2022 is going to look like.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Viola, but you need to go somewhere you can afford. You don't have any money, right?
Absolutely. I don't.
Wrong school.
I'm not sure if it's worth.
It's not.
I'm not sure if it's worth taking out.
No.
The amount. I'll be after 2 years of college. I'll be maybe in 40-50K in debt, and that's maybe like a base pay of a business degree. Coming fresh out of college, that's maybe like the base pay of the salary. So I'm not sure if it's worth being the same amount of debt for the same amount of income I'll be making in a year.
No, it's not. Not when you could have gotten the degree cheaper and worked your way through and had no debt.
Right.
You just chose the wrong school. You chose a school you can't afford.
I haven't taken out any loans yet.
Good.
I haven't made any payments.
Good. So change schools.
So, okay.
If Viola won't give you scholarships, and they probably won't, they may not. If you qualify for scholarships based on the immigrant status of your parents or something like that, that'd be awesome. But dude, California has free community college.
Right. Yeah. I'm currently doing some classes online but for the summer right now, just to kind of get back into the rhythm of doing school again.
Yeah.
But
if I were in your shoes, I would work 50 hours a week, and I would go to a school I could afford and pay cash for.
Right.
I did that, by the way.
And get all your prereqs done, Marco, if you can, at a community college that's free in California, and then see what credits transfer. And maybe you just spend 2 semesters at a different university versus 2 years. If you want a diploma from a different university, then you could do that if the credits transfer.
Don't see the guidance counselor at Viola and tell them you're getting ready to withdraw if you can't figure out some scholarships. And we've got the immigrant status of your parents on your side. We've got the fact that you're an adult student coming back on your side. There's a lot of different programs out there for all kinds of people, and see if they won't belly up and help you here. If they cut that in half, you can afford to pay cash for it.
And Marco, if your ultimate goal too is to get a degree
in business,
in eventually theology, what's causing you not just to go down? Is that just like a far off dream in the way future, or is that something that you could just pursue now and skip the business degree if that's what you want?
I've thought a lot about it. I've talked to pastors of mine. I've talked to financial advisors that are also friends of mine and everything. And I'd love to be able to build income outside of the church, to be able to have something more so kind of like whether that be a passive income or something that I can do so I don't have to take a salary from the church. That would be a goal, of course. Not always like that, but just to do things a little bit differently.
Yeah, I hear that.
Very cool. What I want you to do is I want you to look at a lot of hard work, look at some scholarships, and look at affordability of where you're going to school, and go get your degree in a way that you can pay cash for it. Between those 3 things.
And even if that means pausing another semester.
That's what I would do if I were in your shoes. And even if it means because to Viola, okay? I'm not mad at them. I'll hire you if you graduated from there, if you meet the other things on our hiring process. But where you went to school, we have 1,200 employees, 1,200 team members. We have never, in the history of this company, we've hired 2 2,000 something over the years. Okay, never in the history of this company have we hired someone because of where they went to school.
And you and a lot of small business owners across America where people are working.
Like almost all companies.
Exactly. So
couldn't give
majority.
a crap less where you went to school. All they cared did you learn something while you were there. And so don't tell me where you went to school and act like that qualifies you to be something. That's just prestige throwing it around, and prestige will buy you nothing in this world.
And very small industries and very small sectors of different parts.
Well, I mean, if you can find that 1% of people that are so snobby that they won't hire you unless you went to a certain school, that's fine. But it's 1.5%.
That's what I'm
of the
saying,
jobs
though.
out
Like,
there.
it's
So,
majority of people out there don't care where you went.
I care, can you hustle and grind? I heard that you learn something. Can you pull those tools out of your belt and kill something and drag it home? That's what I want to know. As an employer, that's what I'm looking for. And so, cool stuff. You're a good man, Marco.
Good luck to you, and congrats on everything. You're doing an incredible job.
Well
incredible.
Done. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz, co-host on The Ramsey Show. If you want to do your debt-free scream live on the show, visit RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream. We'd love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story. That's RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people become wealthy, do work that they really love, and create actual amazing relationships. Ramsey personalities are always on the air with me today. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of the Fine Print podcast, and also participating with Rachel Cruz and I tonight in our live stream on the Real Estate Reality Check. We're looking out our studio windows. If you're listening to us, this is July the 14th, and we'll be doing that event tonight. We're looking through all the equipment tonight that'll be used. We're actually going to use our lobby as our studio for the streaming, and so all the equipment's out there. And,
feels like 48 million miles of cable just to run this thing. It's pretty impressive.
And our normal audience that's up close to the screen has been pushed back into another county out there, way back there, guys. And so they're having to watch from back there, and which is probably helpful for how good looking you and I are. We look better from back there.
It definitely helps. They could dim the lights, it'd be even better.
So if you want to join us tonight for the live stream, the Real Estate Reality Check, George, Rachel, and I will be talking for about an hour, and we hope you can join us. It is a free event, and we're going to be talking about the real estate market. What's happening with inflation, recession, house prices, interest rates, all of that. And
what's not happening, too.
And what's not happening, yeah. Is it going to crash? Is it going to crash? Is it going to crash? Spoiler alert. We're going to tell you it's not. But we're going to actually deal with we're going to have a little bit of a college class, little charts
I've
and
never
graphs.
seen so many graphs and charts in my life.
We make them fun.
You're going to wear a tweed jacket and go full professor on us, and I can't wait.
No, I'm not. I'm not wearing a tweed jacket.
Just don't leave us to be a lecture
little
professor.
Elbow patches.
Yes.
Does that mean I would have tenure?
You will have tenure.
Oh, there you go.
I've always wanted that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it means still, but it sounds cool.
It means you can't get fired even if you're stupid. Wow, that's what tenure means.
I see why people want it so badly.
We've proven that with some.
Can I get
some
that
of the
here?
college professors I had proved that. Yeah, so.
Do you offer that here at Ramsey?
No,
I
we do
love
not.
that.
We do not have that. We don't have tenure. So RamseySolutions.com/reality check. Join us tonight. It is a free event. Andrea starts off this hour in Dallas, Texas. Hey, Andrea, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Oh, Dave, it's good to talk to you again.
You too.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Well, thank you.
I don't know if you remember. I actually met you back in 2019 at your studio. My husband and I stopped by, and I'm a balloon artist. I made a bunch of balloons for your grandkids.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Darling, I'm sorry. I've met so many people I can't remember my name. But I'm glad you're here. How can we help?
Okay, well, I was hoping you could help me with a little disagreement I'm having with my husband. We've been married 10 years, and I have listened to you longer and got him on to the Total Money Makeover, and we followed you and were able to get debt-free.
Good.
And so we like it. He likes it a lot.
Good.
But now we are having our second baby due in November, and he's having to work from home, and I'm nesting, and we feel like it's time to move up in house, and we have a little bit of a disagreement. I feel like I found like the ideal dream house, and he feels like it's too much, and it would cause us to have a mortgage again for a little while, and he just doesn't want to do that, and I'm just like, don't feel like I want to settle when we're going to be in the house hopefully a long time. So that's
So what is your current home worth?
We are hoping after realtor fees that we get about $300,000 out of it.
And what would the other house cost?
The other house that we're looking at, our realtor thinks we get it if we made an offer for $495,000.
So a move of $200,000. Do you have any money saved above the $300,000?
We do. We've got our emergency fund of $16,000, which we're not going to touch.
Correct.
And then in other various accounts, we've managed to save up about a little over $100,000.
Okay, so you're only $100,000 in disagreement.
Basically.
Yeah. If you had another $100K, would he be okay with the $500,000 house?
He would be thrilled with it. His thing is like some of these things.
It's not too much house. It's no debt that he wants.
Right, it's not too much house, it's the no debt. He says, this house is fancy, it's a want, it's not a need. We shouldn't go into debt for a want.
Okay. And, okay, I got it. And so what's your household income?
So, 2021, we did combined $101,000.
How quickly can you save $100,000?
I don't know. If we...
Less than 3 years, probably?
2 to 3 years.
2.5 years, maybe?
2 to 3 years.
Maybe.
No, definitely.
This year we're projected to do
Definitely. If you had to do it to save your life, you could save $100,000 in 2 years, but 3, you could definitely do it.
Okay.
Because you'd be living on beans and rice again in order to hit this goal. To do 2 years. 3 years, you can definitely do it. Okay? Or you can pick up... Do you have anything else you can sell?
Oh, nothing that's like worth much.
You got expensive cars?
No, they're used cars, and they are paid off, and they're kind of old. And
okay, they're not expensive. Okay.
What about going to a $400,000 house? You can pay cash for it. Have you looked into what that would look like?
We're still looking and keeping our eyes open. We haven't ruled it out.
Okay, so here's the deal. What we're really arguing about is not whether you have too much house. If I'm understanding your outline, what you're really arguing about is is whether we go in debt or not.
Right.
And your husband's going, I finally got free. I can't walk willingly into another bear trap. I can't do it. I can't swallow the pill. As much as I love you, as much as I want you to have what you want, I just can't go back there. It makes me throw up into my mouth.
Right. And
That's
then
what he's
part of
saying.
me is also like, inflation is going up, and what if I buy too much house, and then the country's gone crazy, and then I can't
No, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. What you've got to worry about is what you can control. Your bottom line is you guys are arguing about $100,000 and 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're arguing about.
Yeah.
You're not really arguing about
Yeah.
whether to move, if moving is valid, whether the $500,000 house is too big a house, whether we're really not arguing about any of those things. We're just $100,000 short of doing what you want to do, and you're willing to go in debt, and he's not.
Correct.
That's what it comes down to. And so once you quantify it that way, it gives you some real good points for discussion. I don't think either one of you are in the stupid zone with this. If you took out a little mortgage and paid it off real fast, it doesn't violate our guidelines. But I've got to personally agree with your husband. Once I got out of debt, you weren't going to drag me back in kicking and screaming under any circumstances. There wasn't anything Sharon wanted bad enough for me to do that, or I wanted bad enough for me to do that, ever. And I was actually more likely to want something than she was. But you couldn't get me to do it again. So I kind of understand where your husband's coming from. I don't think George and I have an answer for
There's
you.
no one right or wrong here. You guys have to get on the same page of whatever you do going forward.
And I don't think you're buying this house unless you both come into agreement. That's for sure. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. George Campbell, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Talking about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Pete is in Boston. Hey, Pete, how are you?
How are you, Dave? Thank you again for taking my call. I talked to you about 18 months ago. I followed your advice about paying off my mortgage, and you're right, the grass really does feel greener.
Way to go, Pete.
Your peace of mind, the peace of mind is priceless. But I did have another question, Dave. I'm 65 years old. I have around $2.4 million in between 401 and IRA. I also have individual stocks and taxable mutual funds worth about $520. I just sold an inherited house, and I have about $140,000. And my question to you is, I don't have any Roth account. None of my assets are in Roth. And I'm wondering, at this stage of the game, at my age, should I be getting involved with Roth? Should I use some of this money from the house to pay the federal tax to
roll some of it to Roth, yeah. How old are you again?
Yeah. 65, going to be 66.
I probably wouldn't fool with it. You can if you want. Here's the benefit.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say that you move $400,000 to Roth, and you use $100,000 to pay the taxes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you've got $100,000 that from this point forward will grow tax free. Now that's not going to, having traded 100 for tax free growth is not going to come out until it grows by more than 100.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you would have to commit to leave that particular account alone probably until death, and just let it be inherited.
Okay, I guess well, that was part of my concern is that I have 3 children. It would be inherited tax free for them. But I guess my concern is when RMDs come along.
Yeah, and it'll help with that too. It'll help with RMDs.
Yeah, and
so that portion would not be subject to RMDs, but it won't grow enough tax-free dollars for a good decade anyway to have justified this.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to leave it alone at least 10 years, and it sounds like you don't need the money, you've got enough other money.
Yes.
So you could do it. I mean, there's no harm in it.
Yeah.
And it does help with RMDs, and it does help with inheritance, and it does help with the fact that the money, after that decade or so, but you could say, okay, how fast is that 400 going to grow, or how long does it take that 400 to grow to enough that the growth saves me $100,000 in taxes because I've already paid it?
Yeah.
It'd be close to a decade.
Yeah. So it's something you wouldn't necessarily do if you were in my position. You would, or
I would if you're going to commit to not touching this particular account for over a decade.
Okay. All right. That's. I needed to know that. Ironically, just one other thing. I have a 401k, and there's about a 1.6 in the 401k. I got about 600 in the other one, in the IRA, and the IRA is the one I have a financial advisor, and it's down almost double what my 401k is. And I know this is you have to wait this market out, but it's just amazing.
Yeah. And when you pay attention, now out of this 2.6 million at 65 years old, did you start out, or did you inherit a lot of money, or did you start out with a lot of money, or how'd you get this?
No, this is from working, putting money away all my life. I inherited about 600,000 taxable. And the house.
After you were already a millionaire, or did that make you a millionaire?
Oh yes, long after.
Okay,
yes.
So you were already a millionaire, and then you inherited money.
Yeah.
So you're not a millionaire because of inherited money. Okay, interesting. I always just want to verify that because there's lots of these guys out here all across America. And for those of you that are so stupid that you think everybody inherits their wealth, it almost never happens statistically. Very few, less than 10% of Americans become wealthy or exclusively become millionaires because of, and we got data to prove that, because of that. And so when they become wealthy and you say stupid butt stuff like, you're so lucky, luck didn't have squat to do with it. That's like looking at the farmer who just had corn grow and saying, you're so lucky after he planted the freaking corn.
Yeah, Pete didn't win the lottery to get here. He just consistently invested over a long period of time, and now he's got these kinds of options. It's amazing. But it sounds like he can do it, but not for the ROI benefits mathematically, but more for some other benefits with the RMDs and being able to pass it on.
Yeah, the ROI will be there probably in 7 to 10 years is what we're saying. But the trick is that the tax-free part has to offset the part that you put that money up front. And so it takes about a decade for that to work out. I've done all of mine years ago, but knowing that I wasn't going to touch it, I'll probably never touch any of those accounts.
Just get passed on.
Yeah, and so all of them everything I have is in Roth now. I've converted it all and paid the taxes. And even the matching portion that comes in, we converted it to pay the taxes. Courtney is in Canton, Ohio. Hi, Courtney. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How you guys doing?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
I wanted to hear that. Not quite sure the shortened version of this. Basically, I don't have much of an income right now. I'm basically my only income right now is door dashing. I am about to take an exam to get my insurance license to get an actual income and have an actual job. With the limited income that I have, I've been trying to do your baby steps for I can't tell you how long. Unfortunately, because of another relationship that I ended back in February, was why I couldn't really fully do the baby steps. At this point, I have $5 in savings. My question is, what is the best way to still work towards that end goal of at least creating that $1,000 emergency fund with only having about $100 a week?
how come you're only making $100 a week? How many hours are you doing DoorDash?
As often as I can. A week.
What else do you do?
What's taking up your time?
I don't have a babysitter.
So it's childcare.
I have tried numerous people, and they've all, it was either my teenage sister being a teenage girl, or the other person that I was able to find that got a better
Can
opportunity.
you find work from home right now? A customer service job online?
Starting to take my exam took up a lot of the past couple weeks.
Not an insurance
and before
exam.
that, yes.
An insurance exam's not that hard.
No,
How old are you, Courtney?
I don't know. 25.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing.
Before this, I was trying to start like an in-home cleaning business, so I had income since February, but since then it didn't, I guess, prove to be as successful as I wanted it to be to start off.
What you don't need is an income. You need to allocate more hours to work some way or another. You've got to find some way to go make some money because you don't have any money.
Okay.
You don't even have money to pay for food. Right? $100 a week won't pay for food.
Fortunately, I get assistance in that, but yeah, no, if I didn't have that assistance, I wouldn't be able to.
What kind of assistance?
Food stamps.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. The reason you don't have any money is you don't work much. So we've got to find some way, you have to find some way to find some hours or some method that the kid rides along with you. I don't know what it is that you go make money because that's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
There's not going to be a situation. What happened if you got a full-time job making
Someone has to report that guy right there. He's a reckless driver. That guy right there. Complete reckless driver. Someone got to report that guy.
$100,000 a year? Well, you'd have to find a babysitter.
That car looks a little bit impatient.
You know,
too.
and what happens when you get ready to go sell some insurance? You're going to have to find a babysitter. So you're a single mom, and you're going to have to solve that equation. And that's the problem you've got. There's no magic wand that makes $100 a week work. We don't have one of those.
Like, there's not enough room for everybody.
So this is an income crisis, kiddo. You have an income crisis, and you need to treat it that way. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measured and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Steve and Dawn are with us. Hey guys, how are you?
Hi, Dave.
Welcome.
Hi, George.
Where do you guys live?
Northville, Michigan.
Oh, cool. Welcome to Nashville. And how much debt have you paid off?
We paid off $315,000 in 7 years and 5 months.
Way to go. And your range of income during that 7 years and 5 months?
It was starting at 140 and ended around 230.
Excellent. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a preschool teacher.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, I'm an IT.
Okay, excellent. Very cool. So 7 years and 300,000, I'm guessing you might have paid off your house.
We did.
You're weird people! Looking at weird people! Normal people have a mortgage and a spare bedroom for Sally Mae. Not you. You're 100% debt-free.
That's right.
We are.
Way to go, guys. All right, tell us the story. What in the world happened 7 years ago that got you connected up with this Ramsey stuff?
Well, it was around 2010 that I learned about you by my friend Heather. She had Total Money Makeover and told me you should read this book.
Uh-huh.
So I read it in like 2 days and told Steve about it and got him on board. We were pretty excited, but life kind of got in the way, and we had we only had car debt at that point.
Uh-huh.
So we were told by a lot of people, you're always going to have car debt.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to worry about getting rid of that. But we decided that we were going to do it, and our daughter Kate, I remember driving to the credit union and making the last payment, and she was like 6 at the time, and she said, "Mom, are we going to call Dave Ramsey and do our debt-free scream?"
Oh.
And I said, "Well, I would like to wait until we pay our mortgage off."
Wow. So here we are 7 years later.
So then a few years later, we decided when we bought our current house, that we were going to be really focused and intent on paying the mortgage off.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Way to go, you guys.
Thank you.
So, Steve, were you on board immediately? You just said it like, so I just got Steve on board. It's not always that easy.
I was not on board immediately. I had to be talked into it, much like a lot of things in my life.
So it was a persuasive speech. And you
That's
went,
right.
okay, fine, I'll give it a shot.
Absolutely.
And you started doing it, and you went, oh my gosh. We can do this.
Yeah, and it's like car debt. It just seems ridiculous now, right? Like, why would anybody have car debt?
You know too much to ever go back. Wow,
Yes.
that's impressive. And Kate, she must have seen a lot along the journey. She must have been inspired by you guys in your financial journey. We say more is caught than taught. Do you think this stuff has stuck with her?
I think so. And she's actually, through her high school, she's going to be taking the foundations course her senior year next year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're really excited about that she
Fantastic.
can start off. And so we just have college next. We're hoping that we know we're going to be able to cash flow college.
Oh, yeah. Wow, this income and no debt. I mean, what's the house worth?
Yeah.
480.
Wow.
I think 480,000.
How much you got in retirement?
We have about 600 in retirement.
So your baby steps millionaires.
We are.
Woo!
That's
Way to go,
bonus.
guys!
I know.
That happens a lot when they pay off the house.
Oh, yeah.
That finishes it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well
Sometimes
done,
not even
guys.
intentional. You just
Thank
wake up
you.
and go, oh my gosh, I guess we're millionaires. Look at that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, when we got really close at the end, it was like we were just aggressively tacking the mortgage
Yeah.
and like paying crazy amounts onto our mortgage.
Well, you can see the finish line. You can sprint.
That's right.
I mean, you can do it. Even if it's a long run, as long as you can see the finish line, you find out how much you got left in the tank.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Well done, guys. Very, very well done. Proud of you. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
I think it's just perseverance.
Do not stop.
Yeah, and just realizing that there's an in sight, and you're going to get there. And just, I think we added on $300 onto our mortgage payment for a while, and then we increased it to $500, and then we increased it to $1,000, and then pretty much we were paying an extra $2,000 on our mortgage payment.
Whoa,
That's awesome.
so
It
your
gets addictive.
income came up, you just threw it all at the
Yep.
Pretty
at
much.
the house, yeah.
We did.
And that curve took you on out in 7 years, yeah.
Yes.
You want to beat your personal best and go, how much more can we put on this month? We can beat that. We can beat that.
That'll be the PR, yeah.
Right.
awesome.
Yes. So
Good.
having a goal.
That's it. It matters. It matters. How's it feel to be free?
I don't think it's sunk in for
We're
me
still
yet.
living like we have a crazy amount of debt. So
What's the first big thing you plan to do now that you're free?
I need a new car.
Okay, that's fair.
So I've been driving the same car since 2008.
Yeah, it's time.
It's got 200,000 miles on it. We just put a crazy large improvement on that car. So I don't know.
Yeah, gotta get a car.
I like the car. I like the car.
Oh, you like the
it's,
car.
It's the
Oh.
coolest thing about me, Dave.
Oh boy, it's a low bar. That's the year the original iPhone came out. Or no, wait, it's time to upgrade.
Probably.
That's awesome. You know what you're gonna get?
No.
No dreams.
No
yet.
idea.
You're still hanging on to the old beater. I love it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cars are really expensive right now.
Oh
so
yeah,
We're maybe going to wait just a little bit.
sure.
Yeah, well, way to go, guys. Very, very well done. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, since you are one. That'll be perfect. And
Thanks.
a Total Money Makeover book as well. You can give that to somebody and show them what to do. And a 1-year subscription to Financial Peace University as well. We'll get you the card for that. And all of those may be things you give away, or maybe some of them you'll use yourself. Either way, they're great. And so we're proud of you guys. Way to go, heroes.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Get it, man. You're weirdos. Not only you out of debt, house and everything, but you became Baby Steps. How old are you? Became Baby Steps millionaires.
50 years old.
52.
Okay. That's exactly the average millionaire. It takes them 7 to 10 years to pay off their house, and they're 50 to 52 years old. In our study, that's what we found.
You guys are averaging the best way
You're
possible.
the best. You're the typical. You're the stereotypical Baby Steps millionaire. Perfect.
Awesome.
Well done, Steve. I'm sorry.
Dave, if I can just say one more thing. Our son was with us too, and he's off site right now, but he has special needs. And he's 20, and yeah, he's just been a part of this journey as well. So we just wanted to mention him.
Absolutely. He's part of the process.
He is.
Very cool.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Thank
All
you.
right, Stephen, Dawn, Cole, and Kate from Michigan. $315,000 paid off. House and everything. They did it in 7 years and 5 months, making $140 to $230. That officially puts them over the line, and they're Baby Steps millionaires. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
We love it.
Well done, well done, well done. Beautiful.
Dave, we got to talk about this. So paying off your house, we're doing this event tonight, Real Estate Reality Check. And a big part of becoming a Baby Steps millionaire and building wealth is becoming a homeowner and paying off your house. That's a huge part of the wealth building equation. And I think people don't always connect the dots there when they think about wealth building, becoming a millionaire, and being a homeowner and paying off the mortgage early. Not sitting around for 30 years and doing the HELOC and doing all kinds of stupid stuff and renovations, pulling money out. It's about paying it off.
Yep. And not about moving up. It's about paying it off. So they bought a $300,000 house that's now worth $500,000. And they've got $600 in their 401ks. That puts them at $1.1 million net worth. See, your net millionaire means you have $1 million net worth. What you own minus what you owe. Assets minus liabilities. It does not mean your income. Well, nobody should have $1 million. It's not a moral construct. You can discuss that if you want to discuss
Accounting
that.
definition.
It's an accounting definition. And so, I don't feel like I have any money. Doesn't matter. It's not a feeling. I don't think it's enough. Doesn't matter. It's still $1 million. There's only one definition of millionaire. It's not a feeling. It's not a moral construct. It's not any of these things. It's simply assets minus liabilities. It's not your income. It's not what your broke brother-in-law's opinion is about who you should vote for. It is none of it. Wealth inequality is just unfair. It's none of that. It's none of that. Fair is where you get cotton candy, and ride the tilt-a-whirl. That's what fair is.
Don't forget the deep fried Oreos.
Deep fried Oreos?
Yeah.
You've been going to some redneck fairs.
Hey, listen, I'm fully ingrained in the South now as a Boston native.
Deep fried Oreos.
Try it sometime. It'll change your
Oh,
life.
my mouth's watering. What do you mean?
It'll change your body chemistry.
It did thinking about it. It's awful.
We'll go to the fair together, Dave.
Deep fried. I've done deep fried moon pies. I made them.
Wow.
But I've never done. That's a thing. I didn't know. Well, of course, you go to a fair, you can get deep fried anything.
Don't deep fry anything in the South, Dave. You know that.
That's true. That's true. Well, I don't know what that has to do with being a millionaire, but there we go.
We rabbit trailed hard there.
Yeah, hard left. This is the Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. Common sense for your dollars and cents and for your life. Open phone 888-825-5225. Marquita in Seattle. Hey, Marquita, how are you?
Greetings, gentlemen.
Greetings. How may we help?
I am calling because my grandfather was a longshoreman. He bought property, 2 lots in California and 2 lots in Mississippi. When he passed away, he passed the lots. He gave the lots to his 10 children. Out of the 10 children, 4 have passed away. 3 of the 4 that have died have heirs. 6 are still alive. 2 that are currently alive, their health is deteriorating. 1 had a recent stroke, and my mother is dealing with ALS.
Oh my God.
And so my question is, what is the process and the cost selling sibling estate interest for income just so that my mom, who's dealing with this illness, can have some sort of income to live on? Her
Is there
income.
any communication among this huge number of heirs?
There's no communication, and this is what's prompted me to call you, because it's always been circling in the back of my head subconsciously, because no one's talked about it. And now that they're getting older, the 10 siblings are in their late 70s, early 80s. They're passing away, but no one is. I haven't heard any conversations about heirs inheriting their parents' interests that have passed away.
That's what will happen.
So right, and so that has happened. However, no conversation has been tabled, and so that now that my mother is dealing with ALS,
You're getting ready to be
that's
the
at the
owner.
forefront of my mind.
You're getting ready to be the owner of this, and she could use the cash right now.
Correct. And I wanted to know, what is the process and the cost for selling her? And part of me, if I'm not using the correct verbiage, is it the estate interest? I don't know if it's
No, it's just her percentage. She's got a basket full of partners, and she's just selling her portion of ownership to someone. Preferably, the most likely would be another relative of some kind. You know, so what I do is start calling all the different relatives to say, is anybody interested in mom's portion? And then you would say, okay, her portion is, what is it, 1/10? Is that what it was?
I don't know what the
It should still be a 10th.
Whatever her original percentage is, still is.
You said there was 10 kids.
1/10 of 10 siblings, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we say the lots are worth $1 million as a group, then her 1/10 is worth $100,000, and we'd be willing to sell that right now for $65,000. discounted.
Got it.
And then if somebody wants to buy out her 10th, and
Got it.
maybe somebody in that pile of siblings, more likely kids of the siblings, nieces and nephews, might want to be trying to kind of gather up ownership. Because if someone can gather up 51% of the ownership, they can act on behalf of everyone else because they have controlling interest.
61%, which is a little over half.
Yeah, I mean, you could force a sale at that point. You can force the others to sell it, which is really what should have happened. It should have happened decades ago.
Right.
They should have put these properties up for sale and divvied up the cash. Because cash will always divvy. Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Is there any formal agreement that you have?
There's no formal agreement. I checked with my mother, and she said, and I asked her to verify that she listed on the property, and that she's seen the deed with her name on it, that she recalls she has a percentage or showing ownership, that she remembers any of the verbiage, and she could not recall, but she did say her name was listed. All 10 siblings were listed on there. So I don't know if you need a real estate attorney or an attorney.
not until you have a buyer.
Got it.
And the only buyer was likely, nobody really wants this. I wouldn't want it for any price. I wouldn't give you $2 for it because I don't want to deal with this basket of crazy. Okay. But one of the people in the basket may want it. That's your most likely buyer by far. So I just start contacting them. Do you have any semblance of any guess of what the lots are worth?
Two of the lots are in a historic black town, which is the first black town in Allenworth, California, which is about 2.5 hours away from
I don't need all that. What are they worth?
I don't know.
Okay, that's all I'm asking. I mean, because if you're dealing with 1/10 of $100,000, I'm not even going to fool with it. If you're dealing with 1/10 of $1 million, then maybe it's worth fooling with.
Makes sense.
You know, I wouldn't spend $12,000 in legal fees chasing 10 grand.
Yeah.
So, you know, I try to get some guess of what they're worth and try to have some contact with some of the more intelligent, more business-minded nieces, nephews, or siblings, but it's probably nieces or nephews, and then start trying to talk one of them into buying up controlling interest in these things so they can flip them and get the mess cleaned up. Because the likelihood of getting all of these people to line up and sign a deed together and sell the thing to somebody else as an individual,
It's an act of Congress right there.
well, we're trying to get two people to disagree that didn't even talk. I mean, to agree to do something, and not only to agree to sell it, but also to agree on the price. Oh my!
What is the right way to do this, Dave? If you're the grandfather leaving this to 10 kids, is there a simpler, cleaner
I would
way?
have just settled it. Required it's auctioned or it's sold or auctioned within 12 months of my death, and then that money's divvied up among the kids. Because 10 people owning a piece of real estate is unwieldy, as we just discovered. Okay, it's unwieldy. Now, our case, our real estate is left into a trust, and the trust sets up all the agreement for how things are operated, and then the kids are the beneficiaries of the trust.
And it's been clearly communicated.
Everybody knows this. There's a full plan out on how it will function and so forth. And then, you know, the kids, they have voting rights in the trust. And if 2 of the 3 Ramsey kids decided to sell it all, they can sell it all and divvy it up.
Majority.
If they want to hold it, they can hold it. But they've got a process for governance and communication and a process to decide whether to keep a certain piece of property within that trust or not. Those kinds of things.
Instead of wild
That's
west.
one way you can do it. But just dumping a whole bunch of people onto a deed with no mechanisms for governance it creates a mess. You know, what we've got here is we turned a piece of property, the value of it, into zero potentially.
And then it's split because of the heirs. And now it gets way more complicated.
Exactly.
Oof.
Wow. Exactly. So, yeah, you do want this. This is one of the reasons we talk about Mama Bear legal forms have a will. You know, get with somebody, get your will in place, and if you've got substantial assets, leave them into a trust. But in that guy's case, he might have just needed a will, and the will could have simply stated, Grandpa, the original Grandpa in the story, you know, upon my death, these lots are to be liquidated and turned into cash by slow sale or auction within 12 months of my death. You can just say that in the will, and then whatever they bring, the kids divvy it up. And by the way, if one of the kids wants to buy it, they can. Yep. So
Nice.
and We actually have a few pieces of real estate that are not left in the trust, and one of the things we did that just for fun, just to tell people, because if somebody wants to sell a piece of real estate or buy it, if the other person wants to keep it, they can buy out the other shares at 80% of their share.
At a slight discount.
Because you're not going to net 100% after real estate fees and closing costs anyway. And so you have it appraised, and at 80 cents on the dollar, the other siblings can buy out the other one if you.
The deal has to make sense.
So it's already set up, though. It's not